Yeah, so happy to have Maria, aka OSKA. I think I said that right. Happy to have you on here. Happy that you're taking time out of your day to sit here and talk to me. How have things been?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Things have been fine. I just released my second album, and that can be a bit stressful. Um, but so far, so good.
So far, so good. So, I guess kind of before we get into the album, obviously that's going to be like a big part of this. So if you live in Austria, you're born and raised in Austria. In terms of like differences in terms of music culture from, I'm not sure how much time you've spent maybe in the States, but what's like the biggest difference you would see between like music culture in Austria versus the United States?
Yeah, I've spent some time in LA and Nashville this year, and
Hmm,
I've
amazing.
been thinking about this a lot. I grew up on the Austrian countryside,
Hmm.
which it's kind of still crazy to me that I turned out to be a musician and that I like write in English as well and do the music I do because it's like so not a thing here. And I'd say the
Right.
biggest difference is just the whole mindset around music as well. Like in Austria, for the longest time, and it's still difficult to like be a musician, especially with the type of music that I'm making. Um, and I'd say that America is way more open to it because they're more used to it. Like being a musician, I think is more
Mm.
normal there. And in
Yeah,
Austria, it's just, sorry, I need to close the window. I'm sorry.
you're good.
I'm so sorry. That got so loud. It was
No,
so
you're
quiet
fine.
out there all day. And now the neighbor is like chopping a tree. That's the countryside. And I think the
Right.
mindset here in Austria is just um, not as, hmm. If you're a musician, it's, hmm. They're like not as open to it, I'd say. Like it's not
Yeah.
as easy as normal, and people are not as supportive. I think that's the biggest difference I've noticed, but it is changing, especially among like young people and artists. We are like supporting each other, but that didn't happen for a long time in Austria.
Yeah. So from my understanding, you have a fairly musical family. What were your parents listening to when you were a kid?
Yeah, and so my mom was a big Joan Baez fan, and she like woke me up with her music um every morning basically. And then I have four older siblings as well, and their musical taste was just forced upon me in a way because I was the
Right.
youngest. And my
Sure.
brothers were listening to Linkin Park and Papa Roach, and my sister,
Amazing.
she really influenced me. She listened to Regina Spektor, which
Hmm.
Begin to Hope was probably the album that kind of changed my life
Right.
and sparked the desire, I think, to make music and write songs. Um, and Amy Winehouse, she listened a lot to that, and a lot of really great artists, Kate Nash, um,
Yeah.
and like a lot of female singer-songwriters, I'd say.
Amazing. So, I mean, I think in terms of your brothers, at least, like I went through a huge Linkin Park, and everybody
Yeah.
knows at least a couple Papa Roach songs, Regina Spektor songs for sure. So when you kind of finally were able to kind of get out from underneath, from them, right? So what was like the first artist you found on your own that you were just like super into?
Yeah. So it was funny because when I grew up and when I started really like loving playing the guitar, YouTube kind of came around, at least in
Mm.
Austria, a bit later. Everything happens a bit later. But I was like 11, 12 years old and I discovered YouTube. And so I really loved one artist that was called Kina Grannis. She's still going
Mhm.
at it. I don't know if you know her. Yeah, she had like a huge YouTube channel, and she wrote her own songs, and I really loved like listening to her own songs, and yeah, she was probably, I think, the first artist I discovered on my own. I bought a CD and everything.
Yeah.
Um and then I think we didn't listen to a lot of radio at all at home. That wasn't a thing, not even in the car. We always sang
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
But you at that time you couldn't like escape knowing Ed Sheeran or something.
Okay.
And that
Yeah.
was then that's someone I might have discovered as well at that
Yeah.
time when I first discovered artists. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine I don't know. Ed Sheeran had a really big run here in the States. I imagine he had quite the run.
In Europe, yeah,
Yeah,
for
right.
sure.
Had
Yeah.
to have. Speaking of just, massive artists. So last year you got to support Coldplay. What was that experience like?
It was I supported them for 4 shows in
Hmm.
Austria, and, it felt like I my birthday was a week long, and the
Right.
whole of Austria got to congratulate me.
Amazing.
It was just very exciting, and my family was super excited. As you know now, I have a huge
Mhm.
family. So it was a big deal, to all of us and a big celebration. And then, just the months leading up to it, when I first heard I was going to support them, it was just pure joy. And I was like, oh my God. And I have so much time still because it's February and I'm
Yeah.
supporting them in August. And then, July came around and then August came around, and, it happened so quickly and I was totally freaking out.
Right.
And, yeah, it was a crazy experience. I feel like my, self-esteem at that time was rebuilding, but, it
Hmm.
kind of triggered that it was pretty low again before the shows because I was like, "Can I do this?" I
Right.
don't
Like,
know.
should I
And
be here
then,
kind of
yeah,
situation?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not normal. And then,
Right.
I felt like my just my performance and my confidence really it benefited from the shows.
Yeah.
So I think it was good for me, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially, doing it in front of, your home country, that had to be really like confident boosting. I had to be.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what
so
I
you,
wanted to say about Austria in a kind of nicer way, but I was really scared because in Austria, people are so quick to criticize. That's actually
Mhm.
what I wanted to say earlier.
Yeah.
And I feel like in LA, or I only know LA and Nashville now, but I feel like it's a bit better with that. Like it's more outspokenly
Yeah.
positive. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so in
Yeah.
Austria, it's the mentality is just different than that. It's like always criticize first, and then maybe you get like one well done. But people were
Uh,
pretty, at least to me, pretty supportive.
That's good. I feel like in the States, like you could pick any person off the street and they probably know one or two people that's like trying to be a musician for a living. So,
Yeah.
I imagine it's not the same in Austria. So yeah, it is interesting that like the criticizing would come so quickly for a group of people that like is not nearly as many as other places, right? So you talked briefly earlier about it. You have your second studio album out, Refined Believer, and what? Just talk to us about the story behind it, the process of putting it together. What went into it?
So don't people always say like the second album is like the hardest and stuff?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I always heard that. And it was pretty hard. But my first album was also pretty hard because the whole process, I was always like, I want to make an album since I started writing songs. And just how do you do that? You know, it's just, I don't, yeah, I had no clue. And then I made my first album and that took forever. And for my second album, I really wanted it to be more of, a kind of capture the moment more and not think about it too much. But I also thought about it a lot and wrote on it for like probably 1 to 2 years. Um, and do we? Yeah, are you still here? Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, good.
I
Just
think I
paranoid.
lost you for a second. Hold on
Oh,
one
sorry.
second. There we go. I think you're
Okay.
back. Yeah, I think I
Should I
lost
start
you for a
again?
hot second. You're good.
Okay.
No, yeah, probably just let's just start again. That would make more sense. Yeah, I
Yeah,
lost you
sure.
for a little bit.
Okay, good. Um, so I started so well. No, I don't remember. No.
I'm so sorry.
No, good. It's my fault, probably. Um, so 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 making a second album, everyone always says that's really hard, and I think making an album is just really hard. And my first album, like the experience of making it, because I had just no clue how to go about it, and I always wanted to record my songs, but that was just I had no, yeah, no schooling and no idea. And my first album took quite a long time to make, also because of that. And for my second album, I really wanted it to feel a bit more enjoyable, like the process, and capture the moments more and
Mm.
allow more, not even mistakes, but um, yeah, just allow anything.
Right.
Not be so maybe controlled about it.
Mm. Yeah.
And I had this deep desire to leave Vienna. I was living in Vienna for a few years, and I just knew my time in Vienna was coming to a close. I thought about going to Berlin, and I have like a tarot set. I don't know if you know tarot.
Yeah, I do.
It's a little silly, but like I got it when I was 18 from my sister, and like every year at New Year's Eve, I would, yeah, do tarot. And the tarot cards were saying Berlin is a horrible idea, and I should not go to Berlin. Um, and then I was like, tarot cards are so stupid. Now I really want to go to Berlin.
Right.
But the tarot cards also said that another door would kind of open. And a few weeks later, I was in London for the first time and had a
Amazing.
few sessions there and met a guy there called David Costin. And he produced my second album. And we just immediately clicked. And he's a lot older than me, and a lot more experience. But it was such eye level. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, he,
See, tarot's not stupid.
you don't think so? Oh,
No.
so yeah, now, okay. Yeah, you
No.
concluded that.
No,
Um,
I don't think tarot's stupid.
yeah. Yeah, it was. I think I'm still wondering about that because it was like there's something coming your way, and it was just so funny because it felt like serendipity in a way.
Mm. Yeah.
And I was even for me that's a big deal. I know it's not a big deal maybe to some people to like move country or something, but for me it was such a big deal. Again, coming from the Austrian countryside,
Yeah.
and I was in London quite a lot for like recording, and I traveled back and forth. I was either there or here at the countryside with my mom, and I told her it would be so amazing to like have a room in London and just come and go.
Mm.
And the same night, she met like a lawyer, an Austrian lawyer who lived in London, and she was like, "Oh my God, so cool! My daughter is there all the time now because she's doing music." And he was like, "Well, if she needs a room, I have one."
Yeah.
And so it felt like I needed to be there and work on my music. And I was there all alone, had no friends, and just spent my time in the Mayflower pub, drinking an IPA and eating sweet potatoes,
Yeah.
and reading and writing poems and lyrics. Yeah.
There's not, that feels very, 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 very main character of,
Oh my God.
right? It does, right? Like,
No, I actually did not feel main character.
no?
Um, and I had a wild discussion with my pianist once about the whole concept of main character, because
Yeah.
it also then kind of implies that there are not main characters, like side characters. And he was like, I don't like that. And I kind
Yeah.
of,
I don't think it's necessarily like a main character thing. I think it's like, I, if you could romanticize your life in any moment, I think
yeah.
it's worthwhile doing so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier for me to when I look back, I think, oh, that time
Mm.
was quite cool. But at the
Right.
time I felt more like a spectator. And
Yeah.
I loved that too. Like I was watching people all the time, and I was like, oh my God, they're like the main characters. They're on a
Right.
date or having the
Yeah.
time of their lives. And I'm just like a Austrian girl writing in a stupid poem book.
There's nothing wrong with some people watching by any means.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
thank you.
It's fun to watch sometimes. So I listened through the album. It was beautiful. I always like to pick my favorite song off of the album when I'm, talking to people. My favorite song is Gloria. Um, and I would just love to hear more about that and the story behind it, the process of it, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you picked the one song where I can't disclose really who it is about.
Right.
But it's basically Gloria is a figure in my own life, actually,
Mhm.
someone I know very well, who went through a disastrous relationship, a very toxic one when she was very young, and kind of really had to fight her way out of it. And on top of that, she was faced with like small town scrutiny and had to like also fight against that. And I just really I didn't even know that I wanted to write about it in so much detail and just like a very how is it chronologically? I think the
Yeah.
song is like very tells a story from kind of beginning to end,
Yeah.
which I really love. And it was written so quickly because when I had this idea in the studio of like everybody's on her case, everybody, and I didn't even know what it meant.
Mhm.
And within like 15 minutes there was like the whole story was written down, and it was the one song on the album where I didn't like write on the lyrics for days or even weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can very quickly because it's a real story. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find yourself to be more of like a collaborative songwriter, or do you prefer doing it kind of in the piece of your own mind?
So I love when I get like a spark, and when that spark maybe also comes from somewhere, someone or somewhere else. Like I have a lot of friends who are great musicians, and I kind of tend to do the same old thing on the guitar. So I
Yeah.
love like writing something over a guitar riff. There was one guy, Marian, who also produced on the album. We wrote a lot together, and he comes up with the most, yeah, the coolest chords and everything.
Yeah.
And when it comes to then melodies and lyrics, I tend to kind of do that alone. And with lyrics, I really love like writing on my own and on my own time, because I sometimes feel stupid in the studio when it takes me a while,
Mm.
to write
Sure.
lyrics, and then there's a lot of pressure to like be quick. Yeah, I can write a song very quickly if I want to, but
Right.
sometimes I just want to take my time,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
especially with these songs.
Your second studio album, do you feel like there's things you've learned in terms of going from the first to the second? Obviously, you talked about like, um, maybe not being as controlling of what it sounds like, but what did you learn kind of going into the second one that maybe you wish you would have known making the first one?
Hmm. I feel like you can hear it on the album that I was going through something,
Mm.
and I feel like with the first studio album, I did not realize that it kind of that I was the I don't know how to say it in English, but that I was like kind of creating it in my mind. You know what I mean? And that
Oh, yeah,
without that, um, it wouldn't be an album, and it wouldn't be I wouldn't be there wouldn't be an artist to like work on stuff at. I don't know. And sorry, I'm being very cryptic, but I
you're
think what I
fine.
want to say is with the second album, I really learned um, that I was my own person, and that I can make the decisions, and that I can actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
the first time around, I really felt like I I had to listen to other people who knew better, and they did know better for a lot of time, like
sure.
stuff. But the second time around, I really learned that my ideas are very valid, and that no one knows OSKA and what I want to say and what I want to do as much as I do.
Yeah,
And I really had to learn that. And doing the second album really helped me in so many ways. And I feel like over the next few years, I will be even better articulating it
yeah.
because I still haven't, yeah,
I
processed
think it's
everything.
like this. It has to be this super intimidating task, like right off the bat, like the first time, like it's you've never done it before. You've probably you've done EPs and things like that, but kind of like loops all the way back to this having confidence in yourself situation, right? Like believing you know best for you, and sometimes articulating that's really hard, and that's
Yeah.
okay, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
do
And
that all the
for
time,
sure.
so I get it.
Yeah. And if you're not also, I feel like if you're not like, maybe it's for the major artist, maybe it's the same thing, but then maybe there's a bit more of a team or someone who like gives a bit more structure, like when something has to be done. And I found myself in a position where it all had to come from me. And that's such a, you have to have so much energy and so much, yeah,
An
it's
exhausting
quite,
process, right?
yeah. But
Yeah.
the fact that I did it, and I made it, although there were a lot of obstacles in my way, um, it kind of makes me, I don't want to say proud, but it makes me more, yeah, confident, I'd say, yeah,
Yeah.
to
I
do
mean,
a
it's
third
like,
now.
drawing on experiences, right?
Yeah,
Um, Looking back and being able to see that you've done it before, you could do it again,
yeah,
having known a little more along the way kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
situation.
for sure.
So in terms of, speaking of just exhaustion, right? So in an artist, unless it feels like they're on a major spot, like does so much, right? And it's a very exhausting process. Where do you kind of sit in the situation in terms of like social media and being an artist? How do you feel about it? Do you enjoy it? Is it something you just like feel like, you have to do?
Mm. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, because I don't want to be. inauthentic. And then the other thing is like I've worked so much on my music and like did everything I could to make it the best album that I could make. And now it's in my hands, you know, and that feels terrifying that now I can yeah, have it listened back, like listen to a lot of people through social media, or if I'm not doing anything or if I'm not doing it right, no one ever will listen to it. um and it's a chance for sure for a lot of
Right.
people, especially if you're good with that. But I always ask myself, like the artists I love, I don't know, Elliott Smith and
Mm.
Nick Drake, and would they be good like doing
Right.
social media? I don't know. Maybe they would find a way. And that's also interesting to think about, like what would they do? Maybe they would find a way, and then to maybe find my way that feels good and authentic. But there's so
Yeah.
much pressure on artists, I think, and young artists, because now you're not only the artist but like a whole marketing team, and you have to be funny and you have to be original, and yeah.
It is. It is an interesting thought, right? Like, if does being good at social media like make like it doesn't make you a good artist, but it really can make you like an artist who's popular, doesn't it? Like that's kind of an interesting thought, actually.
Yeah.
Because you think about like the artists that people really do like love, and their social media presence is like as basic usually as it comes, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it would be lovely to be like an artist who really gets just recognized because of their songs, and then they have
Yeah.
like this mystique thing going on social media. I love it.
Right.
But I don't know. There are also great artists who are discovered through the platform, like Lizzie
Yeah.
McAlpine,
Mm.
and a lot of other great artists. So it is a big chance for people because you
Yeah.
don't need a lot of money. You can just use your phone, and but that's also dangerous. I don't know. It's like just the world we live in now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. It is definitely a double-edged sword, you're right? Because everybody wants to do it, but then it just creates this, a lot of fish in a very small pond situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, all right, when release day comes around, like so, last Friday your album's out. Are you excited? Are you anxious? Are you all of the above? That it's kind of out there for everybody to interpret
Yeah.
how they will.
Um, I don't even know how I felt, to be really honest, because there's always so much going on with like interviews
Mm.
and promo and everything. But I've learned, and it was the first time around, it was the same thing, like having a ritual with your friends, like just getting together and celebrating something and just
Yeah.
clinking your glasses together. It makes it more real because the album existed for me for like months and I
Long
worked
time, yeah.
on it for so long, but I don't see people listening to the album in their homes, and that's just
Yeah.
not real. Like I can imagine it, but
Yeah.
I also can't imagine it. Like just yeah, it's a funny thing. Like a girl just posted on her Instagram, I made like a music video for the last single,
Yeah.
and we shot it in a park in Austria, and released it yesterday. I think I showed the music video, or I shared it on my socials. And then a girl posted a photo of me that she made with her phone of me like in the park standing there,
Mhm.
and she did like a story and said, it's so funny. I Last week I saw this girl. I thought maybe she was OSKA, because and I always listen to her songs while I do my walk
Yeah.
and do my run at the same place every day or something. And she made a photo of me thinking, "Oh, I could be her." And then she saw my music video of me like standing in the park, and she was like, "Oh my God, it was her."
Right.
And that was so funny to me, just the thought of like she goes on a run every day and she listens to us like my music.
Yeah.
That's just silly for me. That's just a silly thought. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No,
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's got to be a hard thought to wrap around, like those little things like that that mean a lot to people, and
you don't even
you're
know.
not there to
Yeah,
experience that with them, right? Yeah.
do you have that too? Like people consume your content and you just
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird, like I'll get messages that people are like, reinvigorated, like the love of music, or like, to find their favorite artist kind of situation. Yeah, it doesn't like it's every time it happens still I'm very very humbled about it
yeah,
because you know, I'm just a dude from nowhere, so very, very humbled to be in the space for
Yeah, we're
sure.
all just dudes
Uh,
from somewhere.
yeah, fair enough. Yes. Like I'm from countryside, Pennsylvania. Like the town I grew up in had like 3,000 people. Yeah. So do you, lighten it up a little bit? Do you participate in karaoke, and what's your go-to karaoke song?
I have participated in my life in
Okay.
karaoke. I think I did an Aerosmith song once,
Love it.
which was like crying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was crying when I love it. Yeah, good rock song.
Yeah.
And then I must have like done "I Will Always Love You,"
A
but
classic karaoke song.
the Dolly Parton version for sure.
Oh, okay.
It's
Classic
more
karaoke
doable.
song regardless. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
version.
I've
It's her
only
song. I'm not even.
done it a handful of times.
Yeah, what's
I
your
don't
go-to?
miss. I love to get up and do s- I'll do two songs. I'll do a Garth Brooks song. He's a country artist from like the
Yeah.
'90s over here, and I'll occasionally bust out "The Real Slim Shady" by Eminem because I know all the words to it. And
Oh wow,
that's always a good
that's quite
one.
an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's always a good one. That one goes over well with the crowds. Um, so I do a bunch of playlists, and one I've recently really like enjoyed doing. I have two different ones now at this point where I pick a famous piece of art, and I try to like put songs in this playlist that I don't know, extend the mood or put off that feeling that I get while looking at it. So if you're so intrigued, I would. Are you familiar with the "Girl with the Pearl Earring"
Yeah,
painting
the
by
painting.
Vermeer? Okay, what song would you pick for that one? Right on the spot, I know.
Um, do you know Gia Margaret?
I know a little of Gia Margaret. Yeah,
Like something like that I would pick. Like a
yeah,
beautiful, yeah, I think I would pick like I just hear
yeah,
piano.
yeah.
One of
Same.
her songs. I just hear piano and like really um beautiful atmosphere, very
Hmm.
light, very
Yeah,
not much going on, but beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, not much
Yeah, I love
instrumentation.
that. Like, so I've done The Starry Night, and I've done
Oh,
Tulip
that's good.
Fields. So those are the
Yeah.
two that I've done so far. And it's just like it's enjoyable. I don't know. It's a fun
Yeah.
process.
It's a
So
good idea. I love it.
yeah, thank you. In terms of like your discography, you got two albums out now, a few EPs. What's the song you're most proud of?
Maybe even like from my first album, a song called My
Hmm.
World, My Love Paris.
Hmm.
Um I really love that song. It has a lot of layers and the like how I wrote it was pretty um funny and amazing. Um
Hmm.
do we have time? Should I go into it or no?
Go into
Just
it. Yeah,
you're sure?
yeah. We have time.
Um,
You're fine.
I haven't retold that story in a while, so I hope I'm not rambling.
Yeah.
But I wrote it with
No,
a
you're fine.
friend from Ireland, and we were in Dublin and
Hmm.
went to his house afterwards. And he was like, "We should write a song." And he always has like games when he writes songs. Like he will have it's really complicated.
Hmm.
And he was like, pick a number, and he will open a book on a page. And
Hmm.
I picked maybe I don't know 50, and then he opened an art book and we looked at a painting. Like it
Yeah.
reminds me of what you just said.
Amazing.
And I don't even know who it was from, but it was like it was a tower, and we couldn't decide, does it look more like the Tower of Babylon or like the Eiffel Tower?
Mm.
And then we had such a deep conversation um about like Paris and the world ending, and I don't know how it all went about, but eventually we listened to like a song called Je ne regrette rien, like I'm not regretting anything by
Mm.
Edith Piaf. Do you know the song?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all good. And it's a beautiful song from like a French artist. You will love,
Okay.
absolutely love her. And we were like, okay, if we are on a boat and the world is ending, like how would we feel and what would we talk about? And then we invented that like two lovers going on a boat and going out to the
Yeah.
sea, and like the last conversation before the world is ending. and they're asking themselves, okay, how is it going to be? Like how is dying going to be? Is it going to be like listening to Edith Piaf? Is it like falling asleep?
Mm.
And are we going to ask ourselves, or are we going to say we're not regretting anything? Or are we going to say we could have made so much more of this life and of this beautiful planet that we inhabit?
Yeah.
And there are a few like lyrics in there that I love so much. Um, for example, if I what was it? I don't know my song now, but kind of if I go first, you just think of music to like
Mm.
comfort the other person. Like if
Yeah.
I'm gone first, you just think of music.
Mm.
And that was such a powerful line for me to
Yeah.
write. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then the last line of that um, song is so cool and so silly, which is um, can I Google it?
Yeah, go
Quoting
for
my
it.
own lyrics.
You're fine.
Sorry, we are probably
No, no
going over
sorries.
time with this now, and
No
it's
sorries. You're good.
I'm so bad with like remembering stuff. It's just my
Got a lot going on.
po-
It's okay. Yeah.
post-release brain.
Yeah.
Um, so the line is, the sea looks dead tired from crashing and drowning. My love, you're mistaking. It's only sunbathing. So kind of
Mm.
like looking at the sea and the sea's just chilling. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't mind us being gone. And you're like,
Right.
oh my God,
Yeah.
the sea looks so rough, and you're like, no, it's just sunbathing. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just a funny
It's a
thing.
perspective thing, right? For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love the idea of just like making a song like that. That sounds really cool,
Yeah, how it
honestly.
came about, it was so funny.
Yeah. Um, so I do a lot of music curation. I always ask everybody what's a song or an artist you've been really into recently.
I love Liv Ross.
Okay.
Do you know
I
her?
think I think so. It sounds
Yeah.
familiar. I'd look up, but my phone is
Yeah.
not nearby.
Oh, she's so great. Liv Ross is amazing. And she just released a song called Grieving, which I really can recommend. And then I love Queenie. I don't
Okay,
know if
I know
you know
Quinny.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, I've been listening to a lot of like old music recently, like Blondie. I've been listening a lot to
Okay,
Blondie.
yeah,
And yeah, that's my favorites right now.
love it.
Yeah.
I guess in wrapping up, like what
Yeah.
albums out? What's on the horizon now for you?
Yeah. So for the longest time, I was like, what do I want to do now? I have no clue. What are my next goals, so to speak? And I was at Primavera. I played at like the showcase
Oh,
there,
nice.
and
Yeah,
I like watched a lot of artists, and really, I really found a new goal for me where I was like, I wish I can at someday I can play like on a festival stage, like not even the
yeah.
main stage or like the main whatever.
Sure.
I don't care about that, but
Just anywhere.
just yeah, anywhere. But just a big festival with like thousands of people in front of me, and like
Hmm.
actually can make them dance and have a good time and cry. And yeah, that's my next goal. I think I want to work towards that. Even with the third album, I know the second album was very um personal and a bit calmer, and now I feel so much better now that I've written it
Yeah,
all like into the universe. And now I
amazing.
want to, yeah, do festivals.
Festivals. Yeah, I love it. It's
Yeah.
yeah, festivals are so fun. They're like my favorite experiences. So
Yeah.
I get that.
And I never had that. I was never allowed to go to festivals, never.
Hmm.
And so I had no clue what I was missing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's amazing. Yeah, Primavera is like the big, like one of the big ones too. So
It's cool.
yeah, I'm uh, I'm a little jealous. That's on the
Yeah.
list of
Oh my
ones
God.
I would
I
like to
think
get to. Yeah,
I think this is gonna be talked about in 20 years. We had Charlie XCX, Sabrina, and Chapel Roan performing
right.
in
What
like
a
3 days. It was
what
incredible.
a yeah what a lineup. Like
Yeah.
on top of everybody else that was there, like those three alone,
Yeah, exactly.
insane. Well, again, I thank you. I know it's late there. I appreciate you taking time chatting it up with me, and yeah, I can't wait to see you on the next festival run here soon.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.